So the OBS got disconnected there during the start of the class due to uh, the electricity went off in my region. So moving forward, let's start our discussion. So first of all, hello everyone and welcome to Unacademy classes. My name is Abhishek Mishra and I am teaching you manufacturing. And in this particular class, we will be doing important questions from the manufacturing subject with respect to GATE examination. And mainly our focus will be uh, doing these questions so that we are better prepared for GATE 2021. And before we begin our class and do that important question, let me just state it here that this class will entirely be in English. And we will be discussing about tips, tricks, common errors along our solving of the question. So we will not just solve the question and move on. We will analyze the question. We will discuss about how you can improve your speed in that particular question. What is the right approach to follow so that you get least possibility of error, and all these things will be discussed in detail in this particular class. So I want you to be focused for about 2 hours. That is the length of this class, and you will definitely learn a lot that will help you a lot in your GATE exam. So first of all, about me, so I have secured AIR 662 in GATE 2020, that is this year's GATE exam, and I have completed my MTech in 2019 from IIT BHU Varanasi, and I have got a good teaching experience of 2 years in mechanical engineering subjects. Some of my interests are photo editing, video editing, cricket, football, and I like all sorts of games. So this was about me. Moving forward, we will discuss about Unacademy subscription, and then we will start our questions that we are going to discuss for today. So just give me a minute. So Unacademy's app is absolutely free to download. So just go and download their app. Since this app is asking you no cost to download it, therefore you can just check out its features for yourself, and just check out how this app can benefit you. And believe me, this app will benefit you a lot because this app is best in the business. This app has all things covered that you need for your Unacademy or GATE preparation. And Unacademy learning app, I will just give you a brief preview what this app is all about. So this app is a complete package. This app contains all the upcoming classes, scheduled classes. You will get notified when the classes will begin so that you can properly adjust your schedule according to it. You can get ready, be prepared. And this app also has the recorded and archived classes for you to assess upcoming test series. You can visit from the app itself, and you can also check out your performance and your analysis of the test that you have given, and you can work on upon your errors and upon your performance by seeing that analysis from the app itself. And you can also view the courses here in structured manner. So that is one more thing, one more major thing that this app offers. So overall, this app's few benefits I have discussed, but you can just check out the app for yourself so you can get a full look, full uh, extended time. You can just use it to see how this app can benefit you. And just keep in mind that you have to use each and every tools that are available to you that will benefit you for your GATE preparation, because ultimately what you are doing here is you are investing your time by preparing for GATE examination. So the time you are spending should be well spent. So use each and every resources that are available to make yourself prepared in a manner that you are satisfied when you give your GATE examination. And after your GATE examination, you should be uh, just satisfied with your performance and with your preparation. So to do that, you have to use each and everything, every resources that are available to you. Just make sure that you check out Unacademy's app, since this is free to download, and it will help you a lot if you can just look at it. Unacademy's subscription service, what it is, first of all we will discuss it. So Unacademy subscription service is just like any other subscription service, where you have to pay a particular or a specific fee to receive the services, educational services. And Unacademy is like your school or coaching, where you are paying for the services like daily live classes, live tests and quizzes, structured courses, unlimited access. But the difference between them and Unacademy here is Unacademy's online educational platform, so you will be getting flexibility and you can study according to your pace. And Unacademy, if you compare it with the other subscription plans available, you will find that Unacademy is first of all very affordable, because the amount of content they are giving and for the money they are giving you, asking for the content, you can just see that this is the most affordable plan if you compare the amount of content and the price asked by the Unacademy's subscription plan. And Unacademy's quality is second to none, because of the quality educators they have hired and because of the advanced features they have on their website for you to assess and for also the educators to use, so that they can make you better engaged and they can better express themselves. And when you pay for the subscription price, from day one you will start seeing what Unacademy's worth is, because daily live classes will be held, and day in day out this live classes will be held in such a manner that you are engaged fully, because the educators in the live classes at Unacademy's website or Unacademy's app will make you prepare in such a way that you are energized full time, you are always seeing to learn, because of the interaction the Unacademy's website provide is superior. And this interaction covers a lot of things, like you can just ask your doubts and you can answer polls, but you will do this in such a manner that is going to benefit you for your GATE exam or any other competitive exam. For example, if we talk about answering polls, the educator can share you a poll to answer when he or she, after he or she just teach a topic, and by answering the poll you can compete with the other students who are also answering, trying to answer that poll, and you can see if you have answered the poll in a record time of you, or if you can answer the poll in the quickest time or not. So this will always make you want to learn the topic with full attention, and also will make you just answer the question with your full focus and with your full attention. So this practicing of solving the question in a crunch situation, and also this competitive environment will help you a lot in your GATE preparation, because GATE also has this two things that is there during your GATE examination, and these two factors you will be well prepared when you attend an Unacademy class. So if you are familiar with this crunch situation, question solving and competitive nature of the environment in which this Unacademy classes are held, then you can be rest assured that you will not panic when you will see GATE exam paper. And live tests and quizzes are there for you to attend, and structured courses are there. So Unacademy's website is offering not only courses which are very high quality, but they are arranged, they are structured in such a manner that you will get to study them in a progressive manner, in a manner which creates a rhythm. So if you want to study for a long number of days, and for GATE examination you have to do that. For example, if you want to study for 4 months, then the content that you should study, or you have to study to maintain your full attention, full energy for that much long number of days, is should be having should be structured in such a manner that it creates a rhythm, and a progressive nature of content should also be there, so that you don't lose focus. And Unacademy has designed their courses, structured their courses like that only. An unlimited access of content will be there. So this means that if you are just subscribing today, then you will not only get all the contents after the day you have subscribed, or from the day you have subscribed, but you will also be getting the content which was recorded and which was held previously. So the past classes will be accessible to you from the day one, and you can access all that content. You can just uh, select which content you have to study from and just start your preparation. So again, I have mentioned a lot of benefits about the Unacademy subscription plans, and you can just see their website, check out their website to know more about it. And I will, in this class now, after a slide or two, I will give you a special code which you can use so that you can get extra discount on the Unacademy subscription plan. So let's move forward. So as I've discussed, top educators are there for you to learn from, and these educators will teach you in an effective and efficient way, and they will show you a path which will lead to high gate scoring marks. And this path will not be having the things that waste your time. For example, when you are going to study from Unacademy's website, be rest assured that you will not waste your time. All the time spent here will be, one way or another, will be spent to make sure that you are going to score good gate score. So that is taken care. And a single subject also has multiple educators, so you can also have that choice to select which educator you want to study from. So this is a unique thing about Unacademy, and you can just have this option and be prepared for gate examination using this thing. And now this is the Unacademy's plus subscription plan, which is a classroom type subscription plan. So you will be studying along with other students, and the educator will be discussing the questions during the class with all the students. So these plans are, as you can see, very affordable, because they are not only giving you all the contents that I have discussed, all the quality tools, all the advanced features, but they are also giving you test series which easily cost thousands of rupees. And that test series will be analyzed after you are performing the test, and that analysis will help you a lot in your gate preparation. And that test series will also be regularly updated, so you will always find that new tests are there for you to give and for you to improve your performance uh, after giving the test series. So the subscription plan which offers the most discount among the plans shown here are 12 months, 18 months and 24 months plan. This offers 54%, 61% and 67% discounts. And if you want to get extra discount, if you want extra discount, then use the code that is shown in the top left corner of your screen, that is ABHIMI. This will give you 10% off, and you can also pay in no cost EMI, which is available on 6 months or and above subscription plans. So choose a one plan which you need, which you can afford, and just start your preparation. But just I will show you what will happen, how the price will change if you use this 10% special code, which will give you extra discount, more discount than what is offered by the Unacademy's website. So this is the discounted prices which you will only get if you use this code, which is ABHIMI, to get 10% off. And this code will give you 10% discount. So this 10% discounted prices are shown here. So this is not shown in the Unacademy's website. You have to make this discount price available to you after you enter this code, and this code is ABHIMI. And again, 12, 18 and 24 months plan are the plan that you must select, because one of these plans is will give you the most savings because of the amount of discounts these plans are having. And if you are thinking about that I am preparing for GATE 2021, why I should select 12 months plan, then let me just make it clear that first of all this plan is making you save a lot of money, so you can easily have that much easily have all the Unacademy resources available to you for 12 months. And after giving the GATE examination, you don't have to stop your preparation. You have to prepare for next uh, 6 or 7 months, because that is the time during which your interviews will be held and your other examinations will be held, that you will surely be participating is it in, because your preparation that you are giving in GATE is can be used to give other examinations also. So it is better to have the resources available to you during that period, and it is better that you have that resources available from the get go, and you don't spend extra to get that much of get a month or 3 months of resources, because that will ultimately you will lose money, because first of all you can't enter the discount code that I am providing. You can enter this only one time, and secondly you will have less percentage discounts, because 1, 3 and 6 months plan have that. So overall, if you can see, you will be spending more if you pay for 1 month or 3 months. Then again you have to pay for this one of these plans, then you will lose money. You can save money by firstly by just selecting either 18, 12 or 24 months plan according to your need and budget. And there is another subscription service which is Iconic, and Iconic subscription is 12 months, 24 months subscription plan available. And this plan are for those who don't need the classroom experience, but who require the personal assistance, personal teaching, personal test series and all that. And again you can enter the same code to get discounts, and the 10% discounts here will amount to a lot of savings, so you can just use that. And here are the Plus and Iconic subscription plans benefits. You can just see them here, and you can also just check out these benefits in more detail when you visit a website, when you visit the Unacademy's website. And don't forget to use this code. I am stressing it again and again, because this is the only way to get you more 10% discount or extra 10% discount. So use the code ABHIMI to get this 10% discount. Now I think we have discussed a lot about Unacademy subscription and a little bit about me. So before moving forward, just choose one subscription which is according to your need and budget, and start the preparation. Start giving test series, start just performing, and start seeing what are the mistakes you are making, and start working on the mistakes. And overall, be better prepared, be make yourself prepared in such a manner that you are satisfied at the end of the your full preparation. So just start giving test series, and just work on your performance. So now let's do the question here. We will be doing our important questions, and the first question is the one which came in recent GATE examination. I think in GATE 2018 this question came. So this question is sine bar question. So in the question it is given that height for a 125 sine bar to measure a taper of 27 degrees and 32 minutes on a flat workpiece is. So this question is of sine bar, from the topic sine bar. And length of sine bar is given as 125 millimeters, and the angle measure of taper, so the taper angle is given as 27 degrees 32 minutes, and height of the sine bar is asked in mm. First of all, we will convert this angle into decimals. So 27 degrees will be 27.32 by 60 degrees. So this will become 27.53 degrees. So this is the taper angle of the sine bar here. So now I will show you first here what a sine bar looks like, and then we will solve the question, and why a sine bar is used. We will also discuss that, and then we will talk about the answer and how to solve the question, and let's do that first. So let me just so let me just show you how what a sine bar looks like. So right here we have a image of a sine bar, how it practically looks like. So this is a sine bar. So this sine bar is, first of all, what is sine bar? This is sine bar. This bar right here is sine bar, and this is a bar of known length. So this bar is a bar of known length, and this bar right here is made taper by the two cylinders here, and here we have gauge blocks which are making this bar sine bar tapered. So so this is the sine bar figure, and in the figure you can see that this angle is theta, which is the taper angle, which is given to us. Theta is given to us as 27.53 degrees. So theta is given to us as 27.53 degrees, and length of sine bar in the question is given as 125 millimeters. So what is the length of sine bar? So sine bar is this block, this bar. So its length here will be So this L is the length of the sine bar, which is given as L is given as 125 millimeters. So this is given in the question, and why I have not drawn direct 2D figure, because I want you to see what a sine bar looks like, and why we are using sine bar. Let's discuss also. We here you can see this triangle is forming, so this triangle will have this h height here, and this L is the length here. So in the right angle triangle, let me name it as A B C. In the right angle triangle ABC, sine of theta will be given as h, the perpendicular height, divided by L, length of the sine bar, which is the hypotenuse in this triangle. So this is the sine theta equation or sine theta formula that we can get from the triangle shown here. So this theta we calculate. The main objective of using sine bar is to calculate this theta, this taper angle, and we are using gauge blocks here. So what are gauge blocks? So gauge blocks are blocks which are used to make a precise length or precise height. So these blocks are usually, what we do, we stack these blocks one over another, and we get our desired length or desired height, and we are also doing that here. So I will show you now what a gauge block, what our gauge blocks look like. Here you can also see what they look like, but let me show you that also, because I have also made sure that I have that photo of them. So this right here is a gauge block, yeah, that you can see this under the box. So this gauge blocks, as you can see, they are of different standard dimensions, and different standard dimensions gauge block, we use them and just stack them one over another to get the desired length or desired height, and therefore that is the main function, main aim of using gauge blocks. So these are the gauge blocks which is used to make this sine bar tapered, and now we will just solve our question. So our question asked that what will be the height of sine bar. So we know that sine theta, where theta is the tapered angle, is equal to h by L, where h is perpendicular, L is hypotenuse, and L is also sine bar length. So from here h will be coming out as sine 27.53 into the length, which is 125 mm. So we are getting height as 57.78. So we have to know, we don't have to just make this we don't have to round off to 2 decimal places. We have to write this correctly up to 3 decimal places. So 5.776 is the right answer. So since this is a question of sine bar where we have to calculate precise values, so don't make the mistake of rounding off. Always just make sure that you are writing the values that are calculated by you, and don't round off the values in metrology or tolerance questions, or in the sign bar questions where you have to find the specific precise values. So again, this question was of sign bar, and I discussed you with you in very detail that how a sign bar functions, how we calculate the angle theta, taper angle theta in sine bar, and if either of these three things is asked and we have the other two things, then we can calculate them. So again, before moving forward, let's look at what we discussed. So this is a figure of sine bar, real life photo, and in the photo we just made our right angle triangle which sine bar has, and in the right angle triangle the perpendicular height PC is h, which is the height which we get after uh, making blocks stacked and up to a certain height that we desired, and L is the length of the sine bar which we do taper here due to the gauge blocks, and theta is the taper angle that we usually found out when we use a sine bar. So here in the question theta was given and L was given, and we have to calculate h, and we calculated it. So that is it for the sine bar discussion. Now we will move forward. I hope you have understood this properly. So now our second question is from the topic electrochemical machining. So this question also is one of the recent questions which was asked, and as I've discussed in my previous class, by the way, the previous class discussion was very well held, just like the discussions we usually do. But in the previous class, I discussed some of very quality topics and some of the very quality discussions we had previously. So I recommend you to just watch my previous question discussions also, because there you can just I discussed mainly GATE 2020 and GATE 2019 questions which were important, and just have a look, and just also I discussed the tips and tricks to solve that question. So you should just take a look at them, and before that focus on today's class, because this class is occurring live. So whoever is watching live, just make sure that you are fully focusing on the things that I am teaching right now, and you are fully uh, engaged and fully concentrating to solve the question before me. And if you are don't know the question answer, then you can always listen to me, and after that you can just solve the question by yourself after the end of the class. But make sure that you are solving the question yourself, because that is what you will need to be doing when you give your final gate exam. So this question is again from a recent gate paper, and as you can see, and as we have also seen previous class, that the recent trend is to give lengthy questions by providing extra data, and by wording questions like that you will have a hard time uh, reading through the question because of the length. But you have don't have to panic, because usually what gate is doing, they are giving you this lengthy questions, but they are not giving you hard questions. They are giving you questions which have extra data, extra information to you. So you have to just see what the question is asking, and then you just have to select what the datas you need, what the assumptions you need to solve that question, and then you have to just solve the question. So don't panic, these questions are usually long, but they are usually easy, and because all the things that you need is already there in the question, so you don't have to think outside the box that much here. And every time in this question also we will see that every time a question comes which is not asked before, which is something different, then if you are having a difficulty solving that question, then the best way to understand what the question is asking and how you can get to the answer is by seeing the units. and if you know how to solve the question, then it is fine. But if you are not having that much of understanding, then you can always see the units and work your way to the answer. So this electrochemical machining question is asking us that ECM is used to cut through a hole into a 12 thick aluminium plate. The thickness of aluminium plate under which or into which a hole is cut by ECM electrochemical machining is 12 millimeters. The hole has a rectangular cross section which is 10 mm cross 30 mm. The ECM operation will be accomplished in 2 minutes with efficiency of 90%. So efficiency, you don't have to forget about this, because in heat of the moment, in doing the questions quickly, you can just forget about efficiency, because usually you solve the question by taking ideal values. But efficiency usually is, when efficiency is given, just check out for that in the question and then just use it accordingly. Assuming specific removal rate for aluminium is 3.44 into 10 to the power minus 2 millimeter cube divided by ampere into second. The current is in ampere, and what is the current required is asked to us, and we have to write the answer correctly to two decimal places. So it is given that so why have I have written specific removal rate first? Because we need to calculate amperes. We need to calculate current, and current is only visible in this specific removal rate. So this should be the focus, and this should be the key from which we can get the answer. So specific removal rate is given as this. So what is specific removal rate? It is simply given as amount of volume you are giving for a required amount of for 1 ampere of current and for in a 1 second. So how much material you are removing, let us calculate that. So volume of material removed. So for 1 ampere of current, what this specific removal rate is showing, just focus on that. It is showing that for 1 ampere current and for 1 seconds, 3.44 into 10 to the power minus 2 millimeter cubes of volume is getting removed. So first we will find out how much volume we have to remove, then we will see how much current and how much seconds are required for that much volume removal that we are going to have. So volume of material removed will be simply the rectangular cross section, that is 10 cross 30 cross the thickness, that is 12 mm. So it will come out as 3600. It is coming out as 3600 mm cube. So now we need to find out so what we will do is we will find ideally how much current is required. So volume of material that we have to remove divided by 3.44 into 10 to the power minus 2 into, so we will have this, let us just write here mm cube, mm cube divided by ampere seconds. So we have to divide this with 120 seconds because that is the amount of time that is taken to make this operation finished. So we will be getting amount of, ideally the amount of current required is, it is coming out as 872.10 amperes. So we have not done something extraordinary. What we have done here is we have first calculated how much volume of material we require to remove, and then we have calculated that if 3.44 10 to the power minus 2 mm cube of material is getting removed for 1 ampere of current in 1 second, then in 120 seconds how much current will be required. Ideally we have calculated, but this is not the correct answer because there is efficiency given as 90%. Now let us solve this question. At the top, the rest part, the final part of this question at the top, that is actual current required. So actual current required, should we listen very carefully. Now a very important part is coming, which can make you, which can confuse you, which might confuse you if you solve this question during your GATE examination, so you might get confused. So since the efficiency given as 90%, so you should you multiply the efficiency 0.9 to get the actual current, or should you divide it? Since efficiency is since the current is the thing that you are taking as input, so if the efficiency is 90%, that means that you have to uh, you have to require more amount of current because 90% current is only getting used for the ECM process, rest 10% is getting lost. So if you multiply 872, which is the ideal value of current which we require, into 0.9, then you will be getting less current from the as input, which is obviously wrong. You have to get more current because only that, if we multiply the actual value of current into 90%, then we will get the current which we require for the ECM process. So I hope this is clear, that why we are dividing by 0.90 to get our final answer. So the answer to this question will come out as 969 amperes. So it is correct, it is coming out exactly as 969 amperes for me. So that is the correct answer to this question. And here we have discussed, first of all, what we have done here, we have gone through this lengthy question, and after going through this lengthy question we found out that this question is not usually asked in the GATE examination. This question was a little bit different than we usually do in our past previous year GATE exam papers. But for this question you can see that the question is asking very simple thing and all the data is given. It is asking that if specific removal rate is 3.44 into 10 to the power minus 2 mm cube divided by ampere into second, then what will be the current required if the efficiency is 90%? And ECM process is occurring in 2 minutes. So we have done that. You can also solve this question according to units. Just see the unit and solve this question. There is nothing uh, bad in solving the question by seeing the units. It is actually clever if you are getting the answer in that way, because that is one of the fastest approach to solve a question. And there you don't have to just understand time, waste time understanding the what is asked, but be sure that you are solving that by knowing that what you are doing. Don't just go to a question and start seeing the units and solving, because that will have a risk of getting a wrong solution. So just see if you can understand the question, and if it is understandable to you, understood by you, then just solve the question according to your understandings. And if you are not able to understand it, then just see the units and work your way through the answer from there. And here you can do that. And also another important thing that we discussed, that I stressed out, that I pointed out, that I focused here, is that if efficiency is 90% given and you are finding out the input value, and here current is there as input, so you have to divide that input with zero point 0.9, because you have to divide the current which is required by you, the parameter which is required by you, that divided it by efficiency to get your actual current which is provided to you, because that actual current will lose something due to that efficiency being 90%, not 100%. So therefore our final answer is coming out as 969 amperes. And that's it for this question. Now we will do our next question, which is a simple question, but here a very important concept is there for you to learn, for you to know. So feed rate in slab milling operation is equal to. So first of all, I will write the formula here. So in a milling operation, this is the uh, feed rate formula. This is the feed rate equation that you use to calculate it. And here Ft is given in mm per tooth, Zt is the teeth, and N is the RPM. So feed rate is equal to product of RPM, feed per tooth, and what is Zt? Is Zt number of teeth in contact, or is Zt number of teeth in the cutter? Now all of you who has done questions, and who has, after doing question, gone through question and absorbed all the small details, all the small information, all the wordings, all the data provided there. So who has basically in one line analyzed the question after solving it, how much easier the question is. You have to always analyze it, so that you are understanding, you are getting all the things that can be obtained, all the information that can be obtained from the question. So if you are doing that, then you can answer this question. You will have no doubt in your mind when you answer this question. But if you don't do that, then what you study in the formula, what you study the equation, you study the equation like the way I have written. You study Zt as only the number of teeth. But is the number of teeth in the cutter, or is it the number of teeth in contact? if you solve a question of slab milling where you have to find FM, that is feed rate, then you will know that ZT is usually given as 30, 20, 15, 10, and these are the number of teeth in the cutter. So the answer to this question is ZT is number of teeth in the cutter. So the answer to this question is C, product of RPM, feed per tooth and number of teeth in the cutter. So this is the answer to this question, and again I am just reminding you this again, that whenever you solve a numerical question or a theoretical question, also try to analyze the question after you have solved it. For example, that I have given before, I am just reminding you again that if you have studied about, if you had analyzed the slab milling question, then you should know that there the value 20 represents number of teeth in the cutter, not number of teeth in contact, and you will not get confused here. So you have to do that every time. How much easier the question is, just go through question again and see what are the assumptions given there. We will do that in this class also, and you can also answer a lot of things by seeing that only. For example, in one of the gate question it was asked that, or in one of the ESE question it was asked that for b t to the power n is equal to c, that is Taylor's two life equation, what is usually the value of n. So you can just answer that question if you see what the numericals usually give the value of n. So that type of things you have to see when you solve a question. After you have solved the question correctly or wrongly, you can just analyze a question with full focus, so that you can get extra information which you don't have to study from anywhere else. What is ductile to brittle transition? So again, this can be asked in GATE as a objective type question or as a reason for one of the failures. So ductile to brittle transition, I will just simply write it here. So if temperature is reduced and it is reduced to a certain value which is ductile brittle transition temperature, then we find out that found out that the ductility of the material is changed to brittleness, and therefore the material has become brittle after we have reduced temperature further than the ductile brittle transition temperature. So simply by seeing this you can get a understanding. So DBTT, ductile brittle transition temperature. So if a material is ductile, it will change its shape like this when we are trying to bend. temperature is reduced downwards, and if below this point we are reducing the temperature further, then we will find out that our material is now brittle in nature. So this is ductile to brittle transition, and now we will discuss a very important event that occurred due to this, or very important mishappening that occurred due to this ductile to brittle transition. And you all, I think, are familiar with the event. It is very popular event, and a movie has also been made, one of the highest grossing movies. So we will discuss that right now. So Titanic sunk due to ductile to brittle transition of steel, because in steel the ductile to brittle transition usually occurs at 0 degree or so. So it is not that low temperature. So if the temperature is reduced to that, the ductile to brittle transition happens, and therefore the steel will become, or any material will become brittle. And here the hull of this ship Titanic was manufactured using a steel which had. So again, sorry for the inconvenience. The OBS, that is the system, the software that I use for streaming, got disconnected. The reason is, in my area today the electricity is going on and off quite frequently. So therefore this unfortunately this disconnection is happening. So let's just move forward with the discussion that we were having. So what we were discussing before the OBS got disconnected, before my streaming software got disconnected. So what we were discussing here was ductile to brittle transition, and we were discussing about the sinking of Titanic, which happened due to this ductile to brittle transition of the steel which was used to make hull of the ship. So this, if is ductile to brittle transition temperature, if this, above this, if a ductile material is there, then it will deform like this, and below this it will break due to its brittle nature. So this is brittle. This is due to the brittle nature of the material that it is not able to get deformed, it just breaks. So this is the ductile to brittle transition, and I think we have discussed a lot in this. Now we should just move forward, and this is not yet asked for gate, I think. So it is one of the questions that you should be keeping your eye on, because it might get asked in gate examination, or in ESE, or in any other PSU examination, or you might also get asked in your MTech interview this question, or BARC interview, or PSU interviews. So moving forward, our next question is also from recent gate paper 2017, no, 2018 I think. And this question asked that the true stress versus the true strain relationship for a metal is given by. So true stress and true strain relation for a metal is given by this equation sigma, where sigma is the true stress and epsilon is the true strain, as given in the question. So this equation is power law of strain hardening. This equation represents that, because this is in the same form, and here 1020 is the strain hardening coefficient and zero point 0.4 is the strain hardening exponent. The cross-sectional area at the start of a test, when the stresses and strain values are equal to 0, is 100 mm square. What will be the cross-sectional area at the time of necking? It is asked to us that what will be the cross-sectional area at the time of necking. So we will do this question quickly. So let's do this question. So what we will do first is we will write this equation, and we know that this 0 point 0.4, which is the strain hardening exponent, it is equal to, so n is equal to the value of true strain at ultimate tensile strength, which is where our necking occurs. So this necking occurs at UTS, ultimate tensile strength. Necking means what necking is meant by, we will discuss in upcoming question, where I have a specific question for necking. So that will be necking will be focused discussion on necking there, where I will show you image also, and just will give you some keywords which necking uh, which is for necking and which goes along with necking. So here we know, so so 0 point 0.4 is equal to ln So this time the electricity came back, so we shouldn't have that much difficulty now in our class streaming. So what we were discussing right here was this question, and in this question we discussed that the strain hardening exponent, that is in the power law of strain hardening formula, sigma is equal to 1020 epsilon, that is the true strain raised to the power zero point 0.4. So 0 point 0.4 is the strain hardening exponent, and this strain hardening exponent always is equal to the true strain value at ultimate tensile strength. So at ultimate tensile strength, we know that zero point 0.4 will be the value of true strain, and this true strain will become equal to ln A naught by AF, because that is the formula of true strain, and from here we are calculating the final area. Final area is coming out as 67.03 mm square. So in this whole question, we only have to use this zero point 0.4 and only have to know that at ultimate tensile strength, first of all, necking occurs, and secondly, n is equal to epsilon t, that is the true strain value. So this is what you can understood and take away from this question, apart from solving this question correctly. And we will now move into our next question, but before doing that, let's discuss one more important thing here. So whenever you write power law of strain hardening, always remember, so it is usually in the form like this. Always remember that this k is strain hardening coefficient, this n is strain hardening exponent, and this sigma and epsilon, that is the stress and strain, are true stress and true strain. So if it is not given in question, it is therefore understood by default that sigma t and epsilon t, that is true stress and true strain, are there in the power law of strain hardening. So always convert the stress, engineering stress, if it is given in the true stress, and engineering strain into true strain, and then use this power law of strain hardening. So in this question, it was given from the start that true stress versus true strain relationship for a metal is given by this equation. So we didn't have to convert any of this, and we also got our answer from the true strain equation itself. So this question was quite easy. Now we will do our next question. So this next question was also asked in 2018 paper of GATE set 2. So this question is again quite lengthy. The equation you can see here can be quite intimidating, but this is one of the easiest questions that you can find in a GATE paper, because you just have to put the data here and find out the answer. A steel wire is drawn from an initial diameter di of 10 millimeters to a final diameter df of 7.5 millimeters. The half cone angle alpha of the die is 5 degree, and the coefficient of friction mu between the die and wire is 0.1. The average of the initial and final thickness, not thickness, final yield stress is sigma y average is 350 megapascal. The equation for drawing stress sigma f in megapascal is given as the drawing stress in megapascal required to carry out this operation correct up to 2 decimal places. So this is the data that is given in the question, and this is what asked. So what it is asked, that we have to calculate sigma f for the given data in megapascal units. So we have sigma y average, which is the average of initial and final yield stress. We have mu, which is the coefficient of friction between the die and wire. We have alpha, which is the half cone angle, and we have df and di, which are the initial and final diameters of the steel wire which is being drawn. So all the data are provided in the question. You can see this question and think this is one of the lengthy questions that you can just leave for the ending moments, but this is the wrong thing to do, because this question is one of the easiest question that you can encounter in any GATE exam papers in any year. And if you made this mistake of leaving this question for last, then what will happen is that you will be thinking about this question, this lengthy, this difficult question, which is not the case, and you will uh, make the rest of the paper solved by thinking like that. So you have to see a question every time. The main theme of the classes yesterday and today's are that in the recent GATE exams, the questions, even though are lengthy, they are not that difficult. They are one of the easiest questions that you can encounter in the entire paper. So you have to think like that. If the question is lengthy, just go through it and see that, and you will find that in most of the cases it is one of the easiest questions that you can encounter in your paper. So let's do this question. So I will do this question, then I will discuss with you what, when I solved this question during my GATE paper, what I did wrong, what very common and silly mistakes I made due to not answering the question, not reading the question properly, and just assuming things on my own. So don't ever assume things on your own. So let's see what will be the answer to this question. So we have df and di values. Just we will put that. The answer is coming out as I've said, it is one of the easier questions. So the answer is coming out as 316.25 megapascal. This 316.25. So what I did wrong when I solved this question was I thought that the initial and final yield stress average, I have to calculate from this value the average yield stress, and this is not the average value given. I only read, I think, the initial or the final yield stress part. I don't read that this is the average that is given. I thought that here I have to put the average of this 350, and then I wasted my time in making this 350, converting this 350 into average by one of the equations in the flow stress equations, and then I just put the value in the equation and got the wrong answer. So by doing that I lost, I think this question was of 2 marks, so 2 marks was 2 easy marks. This is, again I'm telling, one of the easiest GATE question that you can encounter all in all of the GATE papers. And in this question you just have to put the values that is given and get the final answer and write it properly. So if you know to uh, operate a calculator, you can calculate the question, you can calculate the answer to this question in under 30 seconds or 1 minute if you are being generous. Then you have to are not that difficult, and therefore don't get panicked when you see a lengthy question. Be calm and follow your basic concepts. Go through a question once in full, with full calmness, and then just solve the question. So that will be it for today's class. And if you found this class helpful, and apart from the unfortunate this connections. If you found the class engaging, then just hit the like button and subscribe to this channel, and hit the bell icon for notification, so that when an educator goes live, you get the notification, so you can just attend his or her class, and just ask questions, clear your doubts, and basically just interact with him or her, so that you can have a more engaging preparation, more engaging session. So if you want to subscribe to Unacademy, then this is the code ABHIMI in all capital letters, that will give you more discount other than the discount that is offered by the Unacademy's website itself. So 10% extra discount, ABHIMI is the code that you have to just use. So that's it for today's class. Thank you for watching. Best of luck for your preparation and take care.